All right, Liverpool versus everybody. We're here for another weekly hangout. Got my man Jamz. How you feeling, buddy?
Not too bad, bro. All good, all good.
Good. Yeah. So a lot to talk about. I guess just jump right into it. We'll get to the as the title says in the video, goals in Europe. Leading up to this game, I think most of us, I think it's fair to say, thought that Red Star would be probably the easiest match of the teams in the group. And it pretty much showed to be that. And yeah, it was good to see Mane, Salah getting the goals, and Firmino, the front three in general. Um, this 4-2-3-1, we saw that a bit with Klopp and Dortmund. I think a lot of us have been calling out for it this season. And the first time we really see it, although I think with Klopp, everything's really flexible and it kind of really doesn't matter what the kind of starting formation is, because it kind of can be a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. There might be aspects of a diamond there. So, but it was good to finally see the 4-2-3-1. Do you think that's a formation moving forward that we should try to go with as often as possible?
Yeah, I think it is something that we're starting to use more. Maybe more with Shaqiri playing as an attacking midfielder. Firmino. Yeah, I don't know what I think about it, to be honest, because like you said, we're so flexible on the pitch. I can't even tell sometimes, because it still just seems like the top three are up front, just causing mayhem. But yeah, I'm definitely impressed with it, because it seems to put the results back out. We were playing great anyway, but you know, this time last week, I did say I was a game away from being a bit worried, because the goals weren't coming, and I felt like it might run out. But yeah, we've just gone back to the way I expect us to be, just absolutely blowing away a team. So yeah, I'm happy with it at the moment.
And do you think that's a result we could have gotten with Henderson and with Milner in? Do you think having Fab and Shaq in that game, specifically the Red Star game, was really the key to kind of putting that spark back into the team? Spark being Fab, kind of being that DM, breaking things up, also showing some skills going forward, passing ability, things of that nature. And then Shaqiri, you know, he is just kind of like this energizer bunny sort of player for us. Do you think those guys moving forward are going to give Klopp more of a headache as far as how to set teams up, or do you think more times than not it'll be Milner and Henderson, and we can just continue to look for Fab and Shaq being kind of these guys on the peripheral if we need them for certain games, cool, or what have you?
Oh, I think shout out to Firmino. What a game he had in Europe, but what a game, what a player he's shown in his last two games. I think the performances that Fabinho has been putting in, bear in mind, this is the beginning. It might be the beginning of the end for Hendo, certainly as the sixth, as the defensive midfielder. Possibly, to be honest, this might slowly rotate him out the side as a starting player, because Fabinho was just everything we've missed since Mascherano. He already won like 12 balls in the European game. He was just constantly winning the ball. But not only that, he had an attacking-minded defensive type of play too. He kept his head up. He wasn't looking so much for simple passes. I was really impressed with Fabinho. So I do think it's his to make it. Now that position's his to make it. You know, you spend 50 million or whatever on him. You know, he's 24, 25. So yeah, I'm really impressed with him. And I think that for years, I felt like that's what we missed when Chelsea had Kante and Man City had Fernandinho, and even United last year had Matic. You know, even Tottenham with Dembele or whoever, they used to play quite defensive. They had Wanyama as well. I don't feel like we had a proper number six. And Fabinho, you know, Wijnaldum is great in all three positions, to be honest. He's just a monster midfield at the moment. But yeah, Fabinho I was really impressed with. As for Shaqiri, yeah, I think losing Coutinho and not having Ox, he is our most attacking-minded midfielder. And he sees things and does things that I think the other midfielders, the Milners and Hendos, won't do. The way he drops a shoulder, the way he beats a man, the way he has that free roam, and his vision for goal as well, the way he creeps into the box. He can easily, you know, get double figures from that role. So, yeah, I think as long as Fabinho keeps the defending up with obviously Van Dijk and Gomez, such height in the team now, Shaqiri should probably make that 10 role probably his own.
Yeah, I agree. He's looking really special in the squad. And it's funny because whether he's starting from the start of the game, or whether he's starting from the jump, or whether he's coming off the bench, I mean, he's always a guy that can give us a spark. A little bit more in the Champions League in general, in our group specifically. I'm sure you would have either saw the PSG and Napoli game or heard about it. Um, Assuming you still think we're the best in the group, who do you think comes second?
You know what? Obviously, on paper, you'd say PSG would have either topped the group or it would have been just us. You would have thought Liverpool and PSG would run away with it. But you know what? Now, I think Napoli will go through. I think it all comes down to really and truly, it probably comes down to their game on Tuesday. It's at Napoli. We saw how difficult it is there. And we saw how good Napoli were at PSG. PSG are struggling to take it one level up from their poor league to the Champions League, regardless of the amazing individuals that they have. Individually, they're great, but I think as a team, Napoli look good. And I think if Napoli win that game there, then it's almost curtains, because if we win and Napoli win, PSG will be relying on, I don't even know mathematically, they'll need us to base a 2-loss to, both of them have to go to Red Star, and Napoli would not really, I can't imagine them then losing. So I probably see Napoli going through. I wouldn't put it past PSG to go there and turn up, but I just think the loss at Anfield and then allowing them the draw to Napoli, I think that might be an issue, especially with Napoli winning to us as well. It's made it awkward.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I think, I've said it before. I feel PSG is slightly overrated, and I think they have a manager who is more of a guy. All due respect to him, is more of a guy that he's sitting back with this kind of wealth of talent, and just says, "Go make it happen." And it's a bit embarrassing, I would think, for a PSG fan to even see them pretty much on the verge of Europa League. I think Napoli is a better team. I mean, PSG have better players, but the fact that in this group people were questioning even if Liverpool would go through, let's be honest, and to see that PSG are the team with only one win, that's probably surprising to most people. But I think for me, going into it, I never really thought that they would do great European wise, and they never really have. In their league, they'll always smash that up, but in the Champions League, where it really gets tough, and you're really going against teams that are hungry and ready to knock off a power team, if you will, they just don't really add up. So I agree. I think Napoli will go through. I don't think any of these teams are going to be able to beat us at Anfield, which we've proven already so far with Belgrade and PSG. So Napoli are a tough outfit. I think even in that game we played them, it took them something in the last minute to get it, although I feel like they probably were a better team. They deserved it, but I still think it showed that we can really go toe-to-toe with them. I think one thing that was that they were very, very physical, even more so than they were against PSG, and they knew that was the best way to get at us. So looking forward to finishing our business, handling our business against Red Star at their place, which should probably be difficult. I mean, people forget they got a good result against Napoli. So
yes, they did.
Going away to them will be a quite different game. I still think we'll come out on top, but I think we should be ready for a battle. But so far in the Champions League, I'm really, really happy with what we're doing. I think a lot of us were a little irritated by the result at Napoli, and we got a little down on ourselves. But to see that we're top of the group, pretty comfortable. I know it's only a point away or whatever the case may be, but I think we're in a good place. And as long as we handle our business in the games that we're supposed to win, quote unquote, then I think we'll be fine. So moving forward, of course, it was good to see the goals, as I said before, against Red Star, and to see that followed up in Cardiff. Let's talk about the lineup when it came out. I know you'll be honest with me. When you saw, Alberto in, you saw Lovren in, you saw Lallana, was there anyone who you thought, what is Klopp doing? Or were you thinking, look, this is Cardiff City. If we can't, rotate a few guys in this game, when are we going to do it? Were you concerned with the lineup at all?
Yes and no. I think the way Man City are playing, even watching them yesterday against Tottenham, and I was hoping they'd drop some points yesterday, we cannot afford any slip-ups. And if I look at Man City, if they're not resting Kyle Walker, why are we resting Robertson type of thing? Because I just really don't like Moreno. I don't trust Moreno. Said I don't like him. I don't trust him. And he proved it in the cup against Chelsea when he let Hazard just swing past him. So that was my biggest concern. Moreno being in the team, and then also Lovren as well. But yeah, if you're gonna do it, Cardiff at home probably is the team to do it. And we said this last week, didn't we, about resting Virgil if there was a game to do it. So yeah, I was concerned. I was very happy that Mane was back into the team. That probably made me a bit more relieved. I thought, okay, you know, we saw what he did in Europe. He's definitely full fitness now. And him and Salah, they just look like, and Firmino, all three of them, they just look like they're back. Mane's finishing was superb. The cheeky chip, the runs, and you know, I was just really impressed. So yeah, I was surprised, especially Lallana as well. I just think now Shaqiri now needs to be if Shaqiri doesn't start, he needs to be the first substitute coming into midfield if we need any attacking. I think Lallana's days are very quickly will be done now because he looks a yard off pace. He's doing Cruyff turns when he shouldn't be doing them. He wants to take too many touches. I think the team's moved too quick for him. And it's a shame, really, because I was once a big fan of him. So I'm not saying we get rid of him straight away, but I think having someone like Shaqiri in the team and, you know, it just makes me think how much time, you know, Naby's going to be coming back soon as well. You know, Lallana needs to take his chance. And at the moment, I don't think he's taking his chance. I thought he was quite poor. I know he had a header that was off the line, but except for that, I thought he was quite poor.
Yeah, and I've talked about it before. I mean, I'm not. I think you got to see. I think Klopp is thinking to himself, I got to see what Lallana has to see if I'm going to move him on. You see, it's really hard to do that when Ings was here, and then you see him go to Southampton and do somewhat good. Not of late, but when he first got there. So you want to see what Lallana has. I think he really likes Lallana, so that's part of it too. Unfortunately, I mean, but I think Lallana is doing what I expected. I didn't really expect him to come on and be that version that he was when Klopp first got there. I expected him to have some kind of growing pains to get back into the swing of things, the pace. If you look at him sometimes, you can see he looks really tired, like in only 30, 40 minutes or whatever. So got to get his pace. His pace probably may never get back, but he's got to get his fitness back up.
Yeah.
And who knows? I don't really know. I don't want to wish Lallana the worst, but it does seem like this time next year he probably won't be a part of our team. But we'll see. But for now, it's good to have him as a rotational option. He's not doing anything that's causing us anything necessarily. So
yeah.
As long as that continues, I'm cool with it. In the Cardiff game, there are a lot of people still, Liverpool supporters, who still get nervy when we concede goals, especially these kind of fluke goals and things of that nature. And it's easy for them to say, oh, you know, if we would have capitalized on some opportunities we had, have chances, we wouldn't be in this situation. When they scored that goal, did you revert back to the old Liverpool mentality of thinking, okay, well, are we going to bottle this? Are we going to get a draw? Are we going to win? Are we going to lose? What are we going to do? Were you worried in that moment, or did you think, you know what, I'm happy with a 2-1, but I think we can even get a couple more goals?
No, I didn't revert back to the old Liverpool. No way. I was absolutely fuming though, just because we hadn't let a goal in at home since February, and you know, to do that is one achievement and a half. And you know, I'm in the competition with Man City in every single way. Clean sheets, goals scored, you know, in every single way. I want our keeper to be the best Brazilian keeper in the world, and I think he is. So even clean sheets, when it comes down to it, I want us to have more clean sheets than them. So I was pissed off. I was pissed off that they were shit all game, and the goal that they got, it was no one's fault. It was like a silly deflection off Virgil, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's just kind of hit, you know, they put it away into the corner. I weren't like blaming anyone. I didn't think we were going about. I thought, to be honest, I did think we were constantly gonna score, especially in the second half. So I kind of thought, okay, lads, you know, let's not fuck up. Let's just, you know, put this game to bed, and we did. I think the European game has given me anyway, but maybe lots of other fans, a lot of confidence. It was good to see us clean up, you know, get 3-4 goals, and then to do it again. I'm sitting here looking at Arsenal thinking, shit, like we can really embarrass these guys 4-0 or something. So yeah, I weren't scared of anything. It happens, you know, it happens. And to be honest, if you look back at some of the goals we've let in this year, I'd rather let in these accidental goals than being outplayed and then you know, someone walking the ball into our net.
That's a really good point, Jamz. That's a really good point.
Yeah, these are issues that you probably make 4 or 5 mistakes in a season that lead to a goal. And, you know, if it's going to happen to Cardiff at home when you're 2-0 up in the 80th minute, fuck it, it's going to happen. I look back to the goal we let go against Leicester. Alisson's not done anything like that since. I look at the goal against Tottenham, 93rd minute, 92nd minute, the corner. It's just scruffing around. Lamella's put it in. And I look at Napoli. These were goals where, we're going to improve on these silly little things. And that's what's good. We're not really being outplayed. No one's finessing the ball past us. We're not even your David Silvers or whatever are. So, yeah, nothing to be concerned about, bro. And as the season gets on, we will only get better. It will help if we stick to the same back four more often. That will help. Lovren needs to go away for a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. I think I love what you said there because, again, I think, and it's good to hear that you weren't in panic mode. I wouldn't have knocked you if you were. I mean, we're all human. I get it, but It's good to see some other fellow supporters who, realize that we don't have to really. I mean, I think for some of us, we got to pinch ourselves and really understand that. Wow, this defense is really amazing. It's not just a joke. It's not a fairy tale. It's real, and it's okay to be confident in that in every game. But when those things happen, I think it's really easy. Of course, I wasn't at the game, but listening to the sound of the stadium, everybody just got quiet, and it was almost like they were worried that. Here we go. Liverpool going to concede another goal. We're going to draw this while City goes and gets more points, whatever the case may be. But it was such an important thing to see the team kind of just get themselves together and say, okay, they scored on us. Let's make this scoreline a bit more better in our favor. And they went and did it. And so that was really, really good to see because just last season, maybe this team does draw. Maybe this team does lose it, God forbid. But we've seen the struggles in Liverpool, and it's just nice to see that they've changed that aspect amongst others. So, just proud of the team, and I just love to see, like you said, it's almost like some of our players this year when they come back from injury, they look better. Firmino comes off the bench in PSG with one eye, gets the goal. Mane's got a messed up, broken thumb, hand, whatever it is, and he's getting the goals in consecutive games. So. That's always good to see, especially building up to this Arsenal game.
Definitely.
So talking about that, did you watch the Crystal Palace Arsenal match?
Yes, I did. Yeah, because my brother supports Arsenal, so yeah, I watched it.
So talk to me about what you saw, and I know that's just one game, and I know Selhurst Park is a really, really tough place to go for teams. I think a lot of teams sleep on them. But tell me two things. One, what you saw from Crystal Palace, and maybe something from what they did that we can do, maybe do better. And then what did you see from Arsenal that impressed you, didn't impress you? Overall, just what you thought about the game?
Okay, so I think the confidence that Liverpool fans should take from that game is the trouble that Zaha gives their left backs or right backs. Zaha was causing them the whole defense all sorts of trouble. Yeah. Now I'm sitting there with my brother watching it, and I said to him, if Zaha's doing that to you, what is Salah and Mane going to do to your defense? And we know what Mane's done to their defense, though. Mane's been incredible against Arsenal. Oh, yeah. It must be his exciting favorite game of the season. So that's what I was thinking. They don't like quick agility, skill, drop the shoulder, cut in, left foot, right foot. They're going to have two men doing that on both flanks. So that was what I was thinking as a Liverpool fan first. Okay. And that is their weak point. Arsenal have been getting results. Good for them. They have been getting results week in, week out. They've been doing the little clubs constantly. And my only thing I'm saying about Arsenal weakness is they've got Aubameyang and Lacazette now. Like that season, Suarez and Sturridge, they've got two players that will score plenty of goals. No one on the level of Suarez, but they've got two players that will score plenty of goals. They only need half a chance, and that's why I wouldn't really want Lovren against Aubameyang. We've seen what Aubameyang's done to us in the past. So that's the pro of them. I think we should be wary about them, but I'm not being funny. They haven't come across a Virgil van Dijk and Gomez, who are both very quick too, who are both very strong, and a Fabinho who's both tall as well. So they're not going to, I don't see them running riot. Like, they're not going to think they're going to run riot. I think the game plan will be just attack them the way we've attacked them. They haven't beaten us since 2015. So, and we're a lot better than 2015. So, whereas they're probably not. So, yeah, what I liked is Zaha gave them lots of problems, and Salah and Mane should give them 10 times more. What can be dangerous is if we do get lazy Lacazette will just shoot from 25 yards out. Whether he beats Alisson or not is debatable, but we've seen him do it 2 or 3 times this season. And Aubameyang needs half a chance to make it a goal. He's top goal scorer with 7 goals now in the league, alongside Hazard. So he only needs a sniff at goal. So if we do get lazy, set piece, whatever, they might do something. Xhaka's looked okay as well. I don't like him as a footballer, but he's got a little free kick on him. I think that was his 2nd or 3rd goal. And every time he took a shot, it looked okay. So we have to be wary. But, yeah, they're my points about the game, to be honest.
Yeah, I echo that sentiment, man. I think obviously we know Arsenal have weapons, but this idea that it's going to be one of these 3-3 games again is – I think people are really, really mistaken on that. I think in the years past, our defense has been nowhere near as good as it is now. I'm not saying that we can't concede a goal to Arsenal. Lord knows we can. But I'm more so willing to bet that we don't concede, a bunch of goals. I really don't think that it's going to be a 3-3 game. I think with this defense much improved, I think it even gives our forward players in a game like this where Arsenal will be open. They'll play open, and we know the fragilities they have at the back. The one player that does not scare me or bother me, but I know is a really tough rock in the midfield for them is Torreira.
Yes.
He is a beast in the midfield with them. And so I like the young fella Guendouzi, but he's a bit too weak for me. The midfielder for Crystal Palace, I always butcher his name, the captain, the guy who hit the penalties. He was very, very physical with him off the ball. I mean, probably over the top with it, but it got to them. And I think if you can beat Arsenal up, I don't think that's Klopp's mentality necessarily, but if you can be physical with them, they won't want to play anymore. You be physical with them, you hit them early. They're not a first half team. Arsenal's a team that really come alive in the second half of games. With that being said, we definitely want to get on them in the first half, but also in the second, keep that composure, keep going at them, and keep shutting them away from our goal. So I'm expecting Liverpool to really, really have I don't want to be too dramatic, but kind of a coming out party kind of a game where easy for you to say, oh, you scored against Red Star, that's nothing. You scored against Cardiff, that's nothing. Here's a team where some people are saying now, okay, you got to look at Arsenal. They've been on this 10-game, 11-game streak, whatever it was. I know Selhurst kind of interrupted that, but again, they got some players. They got a bit of confidence. I think that manager is a good fit for them. It'll take them a while to really, really get what he wants to do, but they got a squad. They got a squad at the end of the day. But I feel like we can get at them more than they can get at us as far as just open play offensively. So it'll be another good test, and I think that's good for young guys like Gomez. You mentioned Lovren, and I hate to say it, brother, but I think I can see Klopp going with Gomez right back, Lovren center back. I don't know why, but I just feel like in these kind of games, you saw he did it with City, that he might do that because he feels like it's shoring up better defensive. But I get with you. I don't want to see Aubameyang eyeing down Lovren or Lovren trying to make some crazy, dive in like he did against Spurs last season. Yeah. So that does concern me. Got to believe Robertson will be back in. I also think if Henderson and Milner seems fit, but I think if Henderson's fit, we got a week of games. It's almost like being knocked out of that Carabao Cup. It's like a blessing in disguise. We'll have more rest in Arsenal. Although I can't imagine them starting their best players in their game against, I think it's Blackpool or something like that.
Blackpool, yeah.
But
just quickly about what you said. So say we do go with Lovren, don't you ever wonder why we don't play Klein as a right back? I don't ever get why we've got. Once upon a time, Klein was Mr. Reliable. He was England, right back fighting for that place in the Euros 2 years ago. He was a good player, and he almost looked like he was going to be our right back for the next few years. Now, Trent is better than him. Trent could go on and become, I don't know, a Dani Alves or Marcelo or whatever. His ceilings is the roof. I'm not taking it away from Trent. But if we feel like Trent might be too attacking minded or whatever, why don't we play Klein and then keep Gomez? I don't get what Gomez and Van Dijk is essential for them to play every single game together and build a relationship that Rio and Vidic had, or Sol Campbell and Cola Torre had, or John Terry and Carvalho, or even us guys with Carrigan and Hippier. To play week in, week out, it's good for the keeper, it's good for the midfield, it's good for everyone for them to solidly play. I don't like how Gomez does a great job at right back. I'm not taking it away, but for me, it makes more sense for Gomez and Van Dijk to play undefeatedly centre back every game, every week, And if a right back needs to come in, Klein should come in. I don't get why Lovren comes in and then Gomez goes right back. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Klein, it's hard to say, man. Obviously, it might be something in training or whatever, because you would think that's next in line.
Yeah.
To me, even though Trent obviously is our best option going forward, I think Gomez isn't that far from him. Honestly, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
And so I just don't think Klein offers that. And I think that, I know Klopp wants to play an attacking brand of football. Now, it really makes me wonder, will Klein be shipped off somewhere? I know there's been rumors about him leaving. I know he probably feels like he can play. This is a guy who was an England international not too long ago. So it is strange. It is strange. But I, for one, unlike a lot of people, never really rated him that high anyway. I was really, really pleased once Trent started to come in and we said, okay, well, here's, and that came through injury. So again, big up to Trent for taking that opportunity. But I was never really big. I know he was, kind of the steady Freddy guy. He was getting sevens every week, whatever.
Yeah.
But I just never really rated him, not in the style that Klopp wanted to play. So I wish him the best. I want him to do well, whether he stays with us or goes elsewhere. But it looks like at this moment, I think he'd even go with Fabinho over Klein if needed be. And I think the only way he comes in, is if Trent suffers some real serious injury. I mean, you can't play Gomez every damn game. With the injuries he's had in his history, him being young, you can't do it. So, unfortunately, I think that's the only way Klein sees the pitch for Liverpool, is if there's some crazy injury to a right back. So, I don't know, man. I think the Carabao Cup was an option. Obviously, we're out of that. Maybe he can until the FA Cup. I don't know. I mean, he's obviously fit. I'm sure he's chomping at the bit to play. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But as far as Arsenal is concerned, I think look, I've given up on questioning Klopp, and sometimes there's lineups I see and I'm like, for personal reasons, I like to see certain players, but I tend to trust what Klopp is doing. But this week I am really, really dreading, I have to say it, seeing Milner and Hendo back in the lineup. Not because I don't think they can do a job. That's definitely not the case, because obviously they can. But I want to see Fabinho keep in this stream. And I think the only way to really do that is put him up against a team who's probably slightly better. Well, let's be honest, definitely better than the last two teams we played. And I think we need to see what he can do against squads that are really, really going to put the press on us, come with fast players, direct. I really want to see what he can do in those situations. So I'm hoping it's him. I'm hoping it's Gene. I'm hoping it's Shaq.
Yep.
But I just don't see it, man. I really think it's going to be Genie and Henderson. So we'll see.
What do you think it'll be? Genie, Hendo, Milner?
Yeah, I just think he'll go back to his kind of tried and trusted lieutenants. I mean, those are the guys who have been with him a bit longer. He definitely knows them more. The good thing is that at least he will think now, okay, I've waited for, Fabinho to, quote unquote, get into the swing of things, learn the system, whatever. I've been proven right. I waited. We took time, and people can see what he is. I didn't want to throw him out there, and then people say, "Well, Fab's not really that." I mean, people were already saying, questioning why we bought him, if you can believe that. So, what they're seeing now, though, no one can say that. I mean, what he's doing, he offers. No one else in that midfield offers. Nobody. So, I mean, I think I would prefer to see him in the sixth. I just don't know if that'll happen. It all depends on what Henderson's going to be, if he's going to be ready to play or not. But yeah, excited about the game. Yet another top 6 team, top 4 team that we can really, really kind of sink our teeth in and really, again, see where we really are. We've gotten good results against the other top 4 teams. I guess Spurs are 5th now, but when they were in the top 4. But yeah, it'll be a good thing to really see where Liverpool is, and as well as Arsenal. Really see if they're back, quote unquote, or is it just kind of a flash in the pan? Real quick about this City and Spurs game.
Yeah.
The field was really a disgrace. I think we all know. It's an American football game being played there, so it was really, really bad, really patchy, really muddy. It was almost like they were playing on the cemetery instead of an actual the official stadium of London or whatever it is. So just thinking about that game, putting the bad field to the side, where do you see City dropping points? Or do you think that's the thing? It's just so much more pressure on us to make sure we're winning every game because it's hard to really see where City will drop points.
Yeah, good question. I think like you said, the second thing you said, it's the pressure's on Liverpool. I think I look at City. I was having this debate with a few friends at the pub yesterday, and we were saying, what is the strongest Premier League team of all time? And there's about 8 of us, and me, including 2 other people, we were kind of saying, well, I think City of last year is probably better than the Invincibles. You know, they drew 12 times, and they got knocked out of every competition early on. And Man United 1999, they won everything, but competition wasn't the same then. And Man United in 08, 09, they were great as well with Ronaldo, Rooney, and Tevez. But this team here, the depth that it has is phenomenal. You know, I was looking at them yesterday, and no De Bruyne. It's not De Bruyne didn't start. Jesus didn't start. Gundogan doesn't start. And you're looking at them, and I'm just thinking, Sane didn't even start, and it's like flipping out. Like that's just insane. Like it's just an insane depth that they have, and Pep's obviously a great manager and whatnot, but they've got age on a lot of their side. They've brought Laporte in now, so that the concern of company is slowing down. And apart from Fernandinho not having another world class player in his position, they've almost got world class player in every position. So what Liverpool need to do is keep doing our thing. Don't worry about anyone else. We keep winning, and hopefully they drop points. They drop points to Wolves. That just shows one blunder of their season. We didn't beat them, which was obviously a great chance to, but we, for our own reasons, it didn't work out. And, and yesterday they did not blow Tottenham away. They did not blow them away. They outplayed them. And then Lamela got a chance in the 86th minute or 84th minute where he's gone one-on-one with the keeper almost, or something like that. And I'm watching, I'm thinking, this is it. This is the chance now. Get the goal, and our gap can grow. And it doesn't happen. So my concern is, I don't know. I don't know if they'll drop points. I don't know when they'll drop points. Last year, I feel like if they had someone behind them, they could have even took up another notch. But they got to a position around February where they were relaxing. They were cruise. They were totally in cruise control. And as soon as they lost to us in the league, they knew they weren't going to get the record of Invincibles. They wanted that record. Pep wants every record he can get. As soon as we beat the Anfield, as soon as they got knocked out of Europe, it was like, okay, let's just... And so that's my worry. Mahrez is coming into place now as well. So that's just another stronger person. They haven't lost anyone when you consider how maybe we've lost Coutinho or other teams have lost players like Sanchez from Arsenal. So, yeah, I don't honestly look at the fixture list and think they could lose any game now. I just hope they do slip up. They've obviously got to play Old Trafford, and I don't think Man United are a strong side in any way or form. But for 90 minutes, it's a derby. The form goes out the window for 90 minutes. We saw what Man United did to them last year in the second half with Pogba. But I think we've got to keep doing our thing because we've got to go to the Etihad. We've got to go to Old Trafford, and obviously we've got to go to Emirates tomorrow, Saturday. So let's keep doing our thing and see what happens. And just quickly, we said this a few weeks ago. The further they get in Europe, and the chance that they have to go to Nou Camp on Wednesday or whatever, that might be a chance for Liverpool. If we're not in Champions League in the quarterfinals or semis, for whatever reasons, that is where I like to see how good Sterling and Aguero are when they played Wednesday and then Saturday. And that might be a blessing in disguise if we get knocked out, which I don't want us to, by the way. But yeah. So yeah.
A lot of people wouldn't want to hear that because, obviously we want to fight for all competitions, but it can only be a good thing if it comes to a point where we do get knocked out. Not wishing that, but if we do and City are still in, because I think City will probably go a bit further than they did last season. I think Pep he wants to win everything, but I think in his mind, whether he says it or not, he probably wants that more than anything right now, that Champions League crown. So there's a question here earlier about a back three. Do you think Liverpool would ever consider going to a back three? And if so, do you think it's something we can benefit from or would help us in a more of an attacking sense?
Oh, good question. So if we go for a back three, are we going to have a right wing back and a left wing back playing as wingers?
See, that's the thing.
4-3, is that what we mean?
Well, He's done. I'll ask him what he meant, but I'm assuming. So if I was to go to back, so my first answer is no. I don't think we will, and I don't really know if we need that to really help anything. But if we did, I'd probably go Van Dijk, Gomez, Lovren, and then I guess you would put our fullbacks that win. I don't even know how you would draw that up.
Mm.
I'm not really sure, but I don't think it's something that. I think if we were going to do that, I think we probably did that in one game some time ago. I think Jenny played as a back three guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was more of, out of desperation from what I can remember. But I don't really see us doing that. Klopp doesn't really seem like a back three kind of guy. I could be wrong. I mean, half the time in games, we're playing a back three anyway because everybody's so much forward, and whoever's playing the six ends up being one of the center backs, more or less. So, just distributing the ball in the back. So I don't really see us setting up in a game, starting out with a three. But again, same thing what I said about the 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. We're so flexible and fluid anyway that it can look like any kind of formation at any point in the game. So that's my feeling on that. A couple of rumors. Did you want to say something?
No, go on. Go on, rumors. Yeah.
Alleged things about Origi. Apparently, Wolves might want him, and some other team. Are you taking a bite on that, or do you think he's still something to offer? Or would you take that money and maybe help us towards something in January or the summer?
I take the money. I definitely take the money now. I think Origi, he had a chance. It's a shame. It's a shame. I was looking back at some highlights of the Europa League the other day, and he was doing really well for us. And anyway, I take the money for him. I think if we can get 20 mil for him, I'd take the 20 mil because if we get 20 mil for him and 20 mil for Ings, that's 40 million. With Solanke, Solanke should have gone on loan, to be honest. Solanke should have 100% gone on loan. He's rotting away in the reserves, and he was meant to be a golden boy. He's 20 years old, 21, and his generation of players, the Mbappes, the Rashfords, the Jesuses, they're all, you've even got the younger kids now, like the Sanchos for Dortmund and Rice Session. They're moving on, and he's just rotting away. He's not even getting on the bench. So Klopp sees something in Solanke. So it would have made sense to loan out Solanke, to be honest, but we've got rid of Ings. I'd get rid of Origi. We've also got Brewster coming back. The only issue is Sturridge is not reliable. That's the only thing I worry about with Sturridge. As good as he is, his record will tell you that he will get injured this season, whether it's for 2 weeks or for 2 months.
I know, I need to agree, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why I love him to pieces. He's one of my favourite Liverpool players at the moment, probably of all time. But I love him, but he will get injured. I do think eventually he'll get injured. And if he doesn't get injured, it's simply because he only plays this role. But he will play a bigger role. I do believe so. Around Christmas, around Champions League, when it gets a bit deeper. And if he gets injured, all of a sudden, we might use Origi. You might use Origi because he can, if he's still fit as he used to be, he can press, he can switch with the wingers, and, he plays the role very well. He tracks back and, but we need to chip in the money. We should get rid of him. I'd get rid of him. In January, I'd get rid of him. Considering that we're going for someone in January, I do think we should be going for a player or two because this is one of the best chances we've got to win the league. And if we feel that we're 1 or 2 players away from winning the league, then it's now or never. So I am for going for someone. And they've got rid of Cup Tide as well. So we can get a player that can play in the Champions League, which is wonderful. But here we go, I don't know. And
then Karius allegedly coming back in January. What's that about?
Yeah, I saw that. He's gone on a 2-year loan, so to come back, after a quarter of it is crazy. I've saw some mistakes from him. He was an okay keeper before them horrific mistakes. Maybe it's really damaged him personally. He still went to quite a big club with a big fan base, a real tough fan base as well, where they throw flares at you and they let you know if you're not good. I would have gone on loan to Germany, to a smaller club, to find his feet, his comfort. But fair enough, he wanted the challenge. He wanted to be playing for a bigger club. It's not good, though. If he comes back to us, it's not good at all because it's not good at all, in it, because his age and I don't know. We ship him out. We ship him out for whatever we can get for him, I guess, which is harsh. It's harsh, but I don't think he's ever going to recover. Well, I don't know. I think he will recover, but not at Liverpool. And it's not looking good at Besiktas. I've seen him make a few mistakes now, so it's not good.
Yeah, I see people here saying that It was fake news. It was just rumors. And yeah, that's why I threw it out there, because it didn't really seem realistic. But the things I'm throwing out are more so just kind of hearsay, alleged. So I'll make sure I make that clear before I'm throwing these things out here. But let me throw this out here as well. If it came down to, because it looks like Dembele is done at Barcelona. Allegedly, he's showing up late to training. He's kind of beefing with the manager there. They're choosing Rafinha over him in games. Would you rather have Dembele or Pulisic? If you had to choose in the summer, would you go with Pulisic or Dembele?
I'd go with Dembele. I'd go with Dembele over him.
Okay. That's you didn't even hesitate on that one. Yeah, I agree. I think Dembele has a lot to offer. What they would sell him for, I'm not sure. I think Dortmund were able to get that price tag because they knew Barcelona had all that money from PSG. But I think whoever gets him are getting a really, really top class player. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if Arsenal going for him. But it's a shame that he's gone to Barcelona and things haven't worked out for him.
You know, the thing is with Dembele and Malcolm and all these players is that they are choosing to go to the biggest club in the world at such when they haven't even learned their craft. You know, it's like you know, there's levels in football to get to pioneering yourself to the highest level, and as too many young footballers, they just want to reach the top straight away, and this is the problem. And I don't even feel sorry for them. And you look at, you know, Memphis Depay going to United, you know, and then look, now he's back at Lyon and he's earning his craft. And, you know, Zaha again, you know, went to United, Crystal Palace, and then he went back there. And, you know, like Dembele was at the perfect place to be at. Dortmund is probably one of the best places for a young winger to be, a young player to be at. Look at Sancho and Pulisic. And he went to Barcelona. He got overexcited way too quickly. And then, you know, it stained him for 2-3 years, and it's just a shame that so many players are doing this. And when Ryan Sessegnon came up, everyone wanted him, and I thought, you know, good for you, staying at Fulham. You know, earn your trade, earn your craft, become a confident player. You know, and then when you're ready, the money will come. Like if you're good enough, the big club will come for you. You're not going to miss your chance at 19, 20. So it's a bit of a shame, really. But I think the talent that he's showing, he will definitely be an amazing player. And Barcelona are the type of club that can afford to take the hit. You know, they've got Malcolm as well, who again should have gone to Roma. He really should have gone to Roma. But they've got him. They've got two amazing young talents. So I would take him. My concern, and I don't know if it's fake news because it's hard for me to tell. Twitter seems to be full of fake news, but I know Madrid are a fan of Mane apparently, and I know Zidane liked him and whatnot. Apparently, obviously, Madrid are going through some really bad problems, and they've got tons of money. They're in the fair trade by a lot that they can really spend big money soon. I think they're going to go for a few players now. Part of having some of the best players in the world, obviously, as we know, Mascherano, Alonso, Torres, Coutinho, etc. The one level up to us is Madrid, Barcelona, possibly. They will come for your players. Now, do you think there's any truth? I don't know if you've heard of Mane and Madrid or anything like that. Because that's my concern. If we're getting linked to someone as good as Dembele, is that because we're about to lose someone like Mane? Because is Dembele going to look at Liverpool and think, okay, I'm going to take out... Arguably, we've got the two... Out of the 5 best wingers in the world, we've got 2 of them, arguably. So, you know, that's my only concern. I wouldn't want to lose Mane for no one in the world, and that's my worry. Would we lose him?
Yeah, I've seen that here and there. Just looking online about Liverpool stuff. And, you know, honestly, I was hoping that what's going on with Madrid is a good thing for teams like us, because honestly, especially if and when we win, because I really believe this season we're going to win something. I don't know what that is yet, but we're going to win something, I believe. But depending on our success this season, you would hope that would keep some of those guys around. But that's a big if, you know, if we actually do that, because leaving Liverpool, what Klopp is doing there, you got to believe each season is going to get better. As great as we feel now, what can next season look like? You know, I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like Madrid is going through a very rough time right now. I mean, they're 6 points away from relegation, if you can believe that. Yeah. So, I mean, and it's still early. I can't imagine Real Madrid getting relegated. But, you know, the way they looked against Barcelona, they just don't look good right now. Got a lot of old players, so they're going to have to do a whole switch of the team. Yep. And to see Mane and or Salah going to a team like that where they're essentially rebuilding. That doesn't really make sense for me. But again, guys like Dembele, a lot of these young players, even Neymar to a degree, if the money is there, it seems like a lot of them just go. You know, a lot of young players. I mean, look at Aubameyang. He's about to go to Asia before went to Arsenal. So a lot of these guys are really money hungry. I don't know if Mane and Salah fall under that umbrella though. And so I'm hoping for the best that as long as we're continuing to treat them right and do well by them as a club, they're enjoying their football. We're improving the team. They can see us moving forward, and it's not a situation with Spurs. It's just like, okay, Pochettino's got them as far as he can take them. They're not going to do anything else. So I think even that team will be broken up sooner than later. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think look, it's a real worry because Mane still isn't re-signed.
Yeah.
Big worry. And I wasn't really thinking too much on it, but as the season goes on, as he scores goals, as he reminds me of why I love him so much, why I look forward to him playing every game, I am slightly concerned. So hope the best with that. Obviously, not much we can do about it. But at the same time, I say this and I mean it. If we lose certain players, I trust Klopp. I trust the club to retool up. Honestly, that's how I feel. And as bad as it would be to lose Mane, that might hurt me. I mean, it was tough to lose Suarez. I didn't towards the end of Suarez's career with us. I started to look at him and what he was as a person, and that kind of bothered me more than anything. So it bothered me, but it wasn't like Torres. You know, when Torres left, that was for me. That was really tough. But Mane leaving would be hard to take. But you know, again, like you said, maybe with the Dembele rumors or more rumors that we hear in the future, maybe Klopp is already lining that up because he knows something we don't know. So I think Klopp already had in his head who's going to come in to replace Emery. We didn't know about it, but he knew. And so it happens, man. The club is bigger than any player, and you got to believe that if guys don't want to be here, you wish them the best and just hope for the club to retool. So I don't think we're in that situation where we're losing big players like Suarez and then we don't know what to do with the money. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, just looking forward to this game. And again, I'm glad that we get this many days in between of rest. Again, I don't think Arsenal will be playing their top team in midweek in their cup competition. I think they'll be back ready and firing against us at the weekend. Looks like their fullback situation is getting even worse. Bellerin may be hurt.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know if the young Maitland-Niles will be fit, but if they start Xhaka and Lichtschneider, I mean, it's going to be a really, really tough time for them, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. Our fixture list after Arsenal is really good. Fulham, Watford, Everton, Burnley. So, you know, there's no reason why we can't carry on winning all games and see where we are by the beginning of December.
Yeah. And I mean, is there anyone that you think will? I'm really glad about that fixture list after that because we'll definitely need it. But is there anyone in January, we know that's coming soon, that you think we should go for? Is there any weaknesses? I know we talked about left back, maybe another attacking player. Is there anything you think we absolutely need in the January transfer window?
I do think the one position that I know Shaqiri is doing a good job, but it is an attacking midfielder. I think Ox is out. So Ox is just a forgotten man at the moment. And I know Shaqiri is good, but Shaqiri is brought to play that role and to play as a winger. And, you know, if we would, God forbid, we lost the winger, you know, we'd be in big shit. We'd bring Harry Wilson back probably early. That'd be the best option. So, yeah, an attacking midfielder would be, for me, the good option. I do think that if we go into January, if it's January the 20th and we're 2 points ahead of Man City, and we feel like, you know, what's the one thing we're missing? We're missing a goal-scoring midfielder. We're missing someone that can come in and get 15 goals a season, score from far, you know, kind of connect the ball from the back to the front midfield. You know, that would be it. And that's what I thought we was going to have. Fekir, Fabinho, and Keita. That's what, you know, I think most Liverpool fans thought the midfield or three midfield signings would be. So it would be an attacking midfielder. I don't know who. I still would like to think Fekir maybe, but I know he's had a knock now, so I don't know. But I watched him against Man City and I thought he was great, and he suits us as well, the way he presses high and, you know, just a great player. But yeah, probably an attacking midfielder. Except for that, I think we're pretty good. We could do with a winger, but, you know, I don't know. We could do with a winger just because Salah and Mane, they're the two main wingers. And then again, if we use Shaqiri, then we've got no attacking midfielder. But we've got talent, and in Harry Wilson, who's doing absolute great play at the moment. So yeah, I'd say attacking midfielder. What about you?
Yeah, this question just came in about Ramsey. Okay. I don't really think we need anything. Look, it'd be really, really. I'd really, really be concerned if Robertson went down for any, significant amount of time. So knock on wood for that. But I think moving forward, maybe next season, I'd say left back. Right now in the January transfer window, I don't really know. I mean, I guess we could use another attacker. You never know. But I'm excited really to see what Naby can bring once he's back full and fit. I think even when Ox comes back, there'll be a significant amount of time that he still has to go. Klopp's not going to rush him back in. So, we can. I can see us maybe going in for one player. I don't think it'll be more than that, and I think it'll probably be an attacking player, whether it be a guy up front, whether it be a more kind of central 10 guy. I'm really curious to see what Shaq can do in that role more often. Or just on the right in that 4-2-3-1. So I'm happy with the squad. I really am. Especially when we're fully fit. I'm really, really happy with this team. So I wouldn't be too concerned if we didn't go for someone. Let me just ask you about Ramsey. I probably did already, but just to ask you again, is he a guy you take for free?
Because he's free, maybe. Probably not. I just think he'd just be a bit more deadwood in a few more years' time. He's going to be on big wages. He had one great season, 2013, I think, where he was phenomenal. But I'm not a massive fan of him. I get it, he's free. So, you think it's like a win almost because you've got nothing to lose. But us bringing him in, what does that do? Does that then slow down Keita's progression, he could go on to be one of the best midfielders in the world in a few more years? I'm not too sure. Probably because he's free. It's like, fuck it, we'll just take him in it. But I don't see the. I don't know. I don't see the point. We have got Ox eventually. You'd have him for 6 months. He'd be on big wages.
Yeah, that's my thing. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not bothered. That's probably the. I wouldn't be bothered. I'd be like, okay, cool. We got Ramsey. Let's see what he's like. And then, from what I know, he'll just get an injury, and then it's like, okay, cool. He's injured.
Yeah, I mean, I get the wage thing is my issue because I mean, I take Ramsey. I mean, I don't rate him as a fantastic player, but he's a player that he can play. He can play, and I think he'll be more or less fresh. He hasn't really looked like he's been in Emery's plans really. But there has been games where he's come in and they've really, really done well. He's gotten a goal, or you've seen some more brightness in the team going forward. But yeah, I mean, I think I want to be careful with when it comes to guys that are free, and just because they're free, not really jumping on it just because of that. He is a good player. Will he really fit in our system? Is he gonna? Because I mean, we need guys that are gonna work, press hard, run all day. Can he do that? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I don't know if they play that way specifically at Arsenal. So, all in all, I think I'm happy with the team. If we go with someone in the window, cool. I think if we can get some cash in the window, definitely do that as well. So you're Origi, Alberto allegedly going to Barca. Does that mean we'd have to replace him? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm all in all happy with the team. But yeah, man, that's probably about it for us today or tonight on your end. Thanks for making time. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, man, anytime.
Look forward to it next time, and let's hope that Liverpool can do the business this weekend.
Definitely. What's your prediction?
Oh, good question. I haven't really thought much about that. I would give it, man. Maybe I'm cocky or something, but I just feel so confident with this defense. I'm gonna go 3-0.
Okay, cool. Same. I was gonna say 4. So yeah, 3-4.
Oh wow, wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, seriously, man. Like this defense, every game, I'm just like, and sometimes out of respect for the team, I'll say, a team like Arsenal who can score some goals, City, whatever. I'll say maybe 1, but I'm just ultra confident in this defense. And again, I think Arsenal in for a rude awakening. I mean, they might think they're going to score goals in this game, but they haven't been up against a Liverpool team with this stout of a defense. So I'm pretty confident in that, and I think we'll see some continued success from Salah, to be honest. Not just from goal scoring either. I think assist, making space, getting open. I think Salah will have a really, really bright game against Arsenal this weekend. So we'll see. Yeah. All right, brother.
Okay, bro.
All right.